Okay, a pleasant, a pleasant good afternoon. Footage Live Television. Today we are privileged to be in the pleasant company of Mr. Mohamed Ali, the official spokesman of the former ruling Unity Party. A pleasant good afternoon, Mr. Ali, and welcome to Footage Live Television.
Thank you, Kevin, and good afternoon to you.
Okay. Firstly, I want us to talk about the recent suspension of some of your executive members, about 8 members of the Liberian Senate, according to a press release that I have in my possession. You said this obeyed the party mandate. Can you tell the public what made your party reach to that decision?
Well, Kevin, as you are aware, the impeachment of Cabinet Janneh was not something the Unity Party was in favor of. It was something that we thought was wrong. It was something that we thought was subverting Article 73 of the Constitution. It was something that we thought was being implemented by the executive branch through the legislature in order to give President Weah the opportunity to exert control over the judicial branch of government, something that he has successfully done with the legislative branch. And we thought that this was not good for our democracy. So we asked our standard bearer and standard bearers of other collaborating parties to have a discussion with our senators. The Unity Party has 8 senators, Liberty Party 3 and the ANC 1. So that's about 12 senators.
Okay.
And those senators were cited to meeting. Some attended, some didn't attend. The discussion was done and they all agreed that indeed it is a violation of the Constitution, and also agreed to all of the points that I have listed. And agreed that they were going to vote against such bogus impeachment. More than that, the 4 parties issued a clear release indicating that the impeachment of Cabinet Janneh was wrong for all of the reasons I have stated, and indicated very clearly that any senator voting voting for impeachment of Cabinet Janneh was voting against Liberia, and if you were to do that, you have no space in our respective political parties. Additionally, our standard bearer, Ambassador Jim Wabwaka, was in constant touch with our senators to ensure that, they didn't go the route. Now, we weren't doing this because we like Cabinet Janneh. We weren't doing it because Cabinet Janneh is a sin. But we were doing it to ensure that the separation of the doctrine, or the doctrine of the separation of power as enshrined in our Constitution, is preserved, and that no one branch of government exerts control over the other. And to our utmost surprise, our senators decided deliberately, flagrantly, not to live by the commitment they made. And so, after the voting on Friday, on Thursday, Friday, the verdict was read. So the Unity Party called an emergency meeting. In that meeting, all executive committee members present agreed that the 8 senators be suspended for not obeying party's mandate. These are supposed to be institutional people. These are supposed to be people who were elected on the party's ticket. These are supposed to be people who join the Unity Party because of its ideologies. And that ideology, key among those ideologies, is to preserve our democracy and respect the Constitution of the Republic. And so we voted unanimously to have them suspended and investigate why they did not live up to the party's mandate.
But there are other people who believe that you also violated their constitutional right.
No, we did not violate anyone's constitutional right. We had an agreement. Now, when you have an agreement with somebody, you live up to the agreement because we want an institution that preaches equity and justice. Right? And when somebody says you violate somebody's constitutional right, no, that's not true. Put it this way. It is the right of every person under the law to live, right? Your right to life is guaranteed by the Constitution. But if you went and took another person's life, the law can also take your life. That's not a violation of your life. You are being punished for violating the law. So we are not punishing them because they voted. We are punishing them because, one, they disobeyed party's mandate. Two, they deliberately decided not to live up to commitment that they have made to the party. And that is not what an institution to be. And that is not how we are supposed to run an institution of respectable people.
Okay. Recently, one of the suspended Senator over the weekend resigned from the party. According to him, in his statement, he said he did not receive a formal convocation and he was not part of that meeting. In person of the Makati Senator Thomas Grupi.
Senator Thomas Grupi was in the executive committee meeting where the decision was taken to suspend the senators. But more than that, if a senator doesn't attend the meeting, does not mean that that senator was not invited. Most time they ignore citations to party meetings. Most time they ignore citations to National Executive Committee meetings where crucial issues are discussed. So it is not anybody's fault that he was not there. It is his own fault that he did not attend the meeting.
Okay, let's look at other national issues as it relates to the state of economy. You, as a former ruling government, and as you speak now, the rate is around 168 to 170. Where do you think this country is going?
The country can only be going in one direction. It's taking the deep dives in the downward trend. And that is absolutely bad. There was an attempt pumping in 25 million to do mop-up exercises, and that mop-up went nowhere. The money, we believe, was mismanaged by the Minister of Finance and other members of the economic management team. Things are getting tough. The inflation is skyrocketing, prices are increasing, and our government is doing absolutely nothing to bring this under control.
Well, they are shifting blame that you caused the mess, your former ruling government.
You know, that's the crap I don't like to listen to. You caused the mess. When the Unity Party was in power, not a single day, a month, for 12 years, did civil servants take pay for March, for example, in April. Instead of reducing salaries of civil servants, we increase salaries. We increase the minimum wage in this country from $15 to at least $100. We increase our budget from 80 billion to almost 600 million. We built roads. We opened up the country for investment. We created the investment climate that attracted huge investment. Now, be that as it may, we heard a song during the campaign that the Unity Party created mess. So you've been given the opportunity, you pleaded for change. The change you yearn for, the Liberian people afforded you the opportunity. What policies have this government put into place for more than a year in order to reverse some of the backward shape our economy is taking? Absolutely nothing. The only thing I hear them say is throwing blames around. The Liberian people did not elect you to continuously throw blame. And the only reason why people are constantly throwing blame is because they are inept and they don't understand governance and they don't know what they are doing. So you find a scapegoat.
Yeah, but the government keeps saying that the opposition is just criticizing but not making recommendations.
But that's not true. Absolutely not true. For every time we release a statement, we make recommendations. Right? Just in January, when the president delivered his State of the Nation address, we came up with an immediate response, and at the end of that response, we made recommendations. We have recommended a bazillion times to this government on steps that can be taken in order to put the economy back on the right track. But consistently they have refused. In fact, the song they sing is that you were there for 12 years and so it is our time to be there. So they don't listen to people with experience. They don't want people with the requisite education and qualification to work. All they want to put reforms into positions where qualified people are supposed to be and expect magic to happen. It doesn't work like that.
Okay, let's look at the recent impeachment process. Others are saying it's a slap in the rule of law, while others are saying the former associate judges were giving the due process. How do you term that process?
I just stated it from the beginning. It's unconstitutional, it was unlawful, it violated the Constitution, Article 73 of the Constitution, and there was nothing in that impeachment procedure that is due process. The man was simply wish-hunted.
Okay. Yesterday, I was privileged to be at the hearing of the Associate Justice Destiny, George Uju Kabah. He admitted that he was once suspended, and in the just ended hearing, it was similar thing that the former judge was also impeached on ground. How do you think that the current judge is credible?
In the first place, there are a whole lot of questions surrounding how senators voted. Some senators alleged that they never voted for impeachment. Secondly, when a person is found guilty, the jurors are supposed to come down with sentencing. That has not been done. Read Article 43 of the Constitution. The sentencing has not been done by the Senate. As to whether the punishment for the guilty verdict on count 4 of Justice Jane is removal from office, or suspension from office, or barring him from holding public office, that has not been done. So to have even appointed an associate justice in the first place was wrong. So I'm now going to talk about his credibility. The entire process leading him to that office is flawed and wrong, and we shouldn't be discussing it. We should be discussing the fundamental wrongs that are consistently being done, the fundamental and inherent violation of the Constitution that they continue to do.
Okay, there's someone here asking if are you in support of the impeachment of former associate justice, meaning that are you willing to go to the ECOWAS court?
If I am in support of this,
of a redress to the ECOWAS court. Well,
Well,
Collins is asking.
Interestingly, I am now a part of this. I'm now a lawyer. I'm now a part of the team.
As a party.
I don't know. It's not a case. It was not Unity Party versus the Senate. It was Justice Gavin Jana versus the Liberian Senate. I mean the House of Representatives. So he's the only person who has the authority to take his case to the ECOWAS court. And I have not spoken to him. We don't know each other like that, so I can speak to that.
Okay, Ali, there's more Liberians who believe that Unity Party partisans are only criticizing because they cannot live off power. They believe that the party doing your 2 years stay does not do the Liberian people judge, and they are even boasting that they have done more than what you did in 2 years.
You know, I don't like to go into vain and fake arguments. Right? If they are doing good, the Liberian people will be the judge. If they are doing better, the Liberian people will be the judge. The economy of the country will be the judge. Kids dropping out of school will be the judge. People can afford a square meal per day will be the judge. The violation of our constitution will be the judge. The undermining of transparency institutions will be the judge. The increase in the level of corruption will be the judge. I am not here to engage into flimsy and flippy logic arguments.
Okay, there is the belief that coming up that the government is on the way to reduce its civil servant salary by 25%, and you being opposition party, if that happens, what would be your stand?
But it is not our stand. It is what would be the stand of the civil servants. By law, you are not supposed to reduce civil servant salaries. The civil service standing order is there. It is clear. We will only encourage them to do the right thing, take the course of the law if your salaries are illegally reduced.
Okay. There is the issue of investment in the economy and the construction of roads along the country. He said that much was not done by your government, but looking at the Banga, the former government posted of the Banga to Kiniboro Highway, and now the CDC is posting also of pavement along most of the country. Yeah, and they said in 1 year
when you come back and tell me how many kilometers of paved road they've done in more than a year and a half, then we'll discuss that. As far as I know, most of the projects, with the exception probably of the much talked about Doe Community Highway, I would call it, and none of the roads is an initiation.
Are you
initiative of this?
Are you saying that
I am saying the out of certainty. The one they call the Bishop Michael Francis Road was initiated and funding secured by the past government. The Johnsonville Road, Garnetsville, funding secured by the past government. The Somalia Drive, of course, I don't need to tell you the story. So until they can come out to tell me clearly which roads, apart from the Doe Community Road, that they secure funding for, then we can have a discussion on that.
Okay, but they are claiming that all those roads was done under their leadership.
No. You see, the funny thing about this government or its supporters is this. When it comes to certain challenges, they will come up and say it was the past government. When it comes to the achievements, then the song they sing is that government is continuity. That's total hypocrisy. I don't pay heed. We all understand that government is continuity. And that's why you accept the challenges that you inherited and also accept the achievements and give credit to where credit is due. Now, if you were to, for example, you say this was done by that or started by this government and ended by us, you're giving credit to them. So tomorrow when you say, but this bi-economic stuff was started by that government and we are trying to work it out to make it look good, the people will listen to you. Or you don't just come out, only accept the good ones and the bad ones you say, but at the past government. That's nonsense.
Okay, we got a year to the May 10 election. You now have a coalition. Are we going to see Unity Party putting all the candidate single-handedly, or are you going to support staying as a coalition?
We are not yet a coalition. We are working on having a collaboration, and our aim is to ensure that that collaboration succeeds and feed single slate of candidates for the by-election. That's what we want to do.
Okay, yes, but there are also beliefs that more Liberians still believe in the ruling CDC, and they also believe that the four parties that are coming together, there are some stand-up who are power greed, and the collaboration cannot hold. Will not hold in the future.
So if the collaboration doesn't hold, that's to their advantage, isn't it? Do they need to worry about that? That should be for us to worry on. So if the people don't believe in it, only one way to tell election results. That's what I can say. When we have elections and the results shows that we did nothing. Yeah, then it means that we did nothing. It means that the people don't believe in us.
Okay, before we take leave of you, there is this by-election that if the government have funding for it, are we going to see a candidate of the Unity Party, or are you going to give?
You will see a candidate of the collaboration, not necessarily of the Unity Party. The collaboration will be a candidate.
Okay, and let me ask you this question, Mr. Ali. Are you willing to work with this government as a political party in moving this country forward?
But the aim of forming a political party is to make the government, the country better for its citizens. We don't have selfish agenda. We don't have selfish aim. What we want to see is a better Liberia for everyone. So if we are approached to provide recommendations and suggestions, yes, we will do that and remain in opposition and provide a critical analysis and critique of the government, because that is necessary for our democracy.
Okay, finally, but there is the issue you touched on about the mobbing system. There were recommendations done in the report up to present that nothing has been done by the president. What do you think is happening? What do you think Liberia is going when it comes to the rule of law and justice?
We are going down the drain. The first thing is that it is clear in both of the report, the Cruz report and the local report, that Samuel Tue, Nathaniel Petrie, and the rest of the economic management team badly missed by excess leveling out from the economy, and nothing has been done to that. The government has gone quiet, even on the issue of the 16 billion. They went and did some, So we are going down the drain when it comes to the implementation of the law, when it comes to fighting corruption. Just everything.
Okay, finally, so is there anything that you wish to share with the public, maybe that I did not touch?
Well, I would just like to say Liberian people should remain steadfast. We should not engage into violence, because it will not help to solve our problems. We should continue to seek the proper means of addressing our problems, and we should continue to hold our government accountable, because we employ them, we put them there.
Okay, but there are other Liberians who are calling for a national protest and for the immediate resignation of President George Weah. You also going to support such process?
Look, it is everybody's right under the Constitution to protest. And if the protests are for genuine cause, we will participate. And we encourage people to engage into peaceful protests.
But not violent protest.
No, I mean violent. Like I just said, we should not engage into violent. Violent will not solve our problem.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. We're not having you.
All right, Chief. Thanks a lot.